So welcome everybody to the Lockdown Sessions presented by Wrestling Travel, obviously, and our good friends over in New York City, the True Heel Heat Wrestling Podcast, which by the time this airs, they're already going to be celebrating their 100th episode. So hats off to them. They run a great show over there. I always say if you want to listen to a cool wrestling podcast, something new, check out True Heel Heat Wrestling. If you want to listen to two new podcasts, we also do one. So we're getting the hang of it. We're on episode 20. So, but more importantly, we have in the house today. Well, not in the house because we're in a totally different world here. But we've got with us Mr. Pec-Tacular, Jessie Godderz. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. You're OVW Heavyweight National Grand Champion. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you in the house. So how long have you had that title?
Not long enough. No. But since the origin. Yep, since it actually unveiled. So I believe over a month. So just over a month. It's heavy. I'm telling you one thing. When Al Snow does something, the legendary Al Snow does something, he does it right. This is easily one of the heaviest heavyweight championships I've ever held. Literally the only one, but the heaviest one nonetheless. So it's definitely got some weight to it. So one of those things where you got to like calculate that in when you check your bag. So as if my life isn't complicated enough, I now have to obviously worry about a 15, 20 pound championship title to lug around. So
you got to carry that on, don't you?
Yes, no, absolutely. And it's a good problem to have. You know, it's one of the consequences of being a champion. So
what is that now? I always hear about this now. Does airport security check that out and go, hey, Mr. Pec-Tacular, can I get a picture now? Can I hold the belt? Does it delay you a little bit?
You know, it does. There's a lot of people in the airport that as soon as you keep going through Louisville airport, they become your friends because you're going to see them super early in the morning. The vast majority of the flights are all at the same time when you take off or fly in. You see the same people because they're working there day in and day out. And they already know me. They know the deal. They know I'm the champion. They give me the respect that I'm due. So, or I'm owed. So it's definitely it's one of those things where it's either, hey, how you doing, champ? Or yes, I do. There's two people in particular. One of them wants to take me to dinner. He's a nice fellow, a married man that wants me to go to some sort of restaurant somewhere in Louisville with him and his family. So if and when the champ has the time, we'll set that up. So,
you know, that's the perks of the champ. You know, one of those unheralded perks: dinner, movies.
Yeah, something. Entertainment. I don't know what we can do in Louisville, Kentucky right now, but maybe go to the museum for Louisville Slugger.
Now, when was the last time you were in Louisville?
Just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I mean, we just did another TV taping there. So, well, go ahead.
The Combine, that was November 7th. Were you out there that weekend?
Yeah. No, I just promoted for it. So I was there the last year when they had it though, and it's a huge event. It's beautifully organized. Like I wouldn't say it's night and day. It's just there's so many other facets to OVW right now. It's not even funny. Obviously, it's literally the biggest network in the world as far as I'm concerned, and it's the best up and coming talent. Through in and throughout, but these guys they're already stars. You know, obviously they already have the fan base as of right now. There's more networks than ever before, and again, that's just due to the hard work of not only the talent, but obviously the guys that are running everything with Al Snow and then Chad Miller. But Chad put on this, you know, almost mimic like a normal combine. They give away a year free tuition to somebody that actually wins. But obviously it's a multifaceted experience where you got to be able to cross all the T's and dot all the I's because it's from start to finish, you know, whether it's your attitude, whether it's your enthusiasm, whether it's your talent, whether it's your mic skills, whether it's your where you're located at. Obviously, you got to relocate. And I think that's the biggest complex when, you know, professional wrestlers or anybody in any profession, you got to go where the opportunity is. You know, if you want to start talking about where I originated from and how I first started out in the business, like I was living in California. I saw Ric Flair in Gold's Gym Venice, and he's like, if you're serious about this wrestling, Like, you got to move to Tampa, Florida, and you need to be at Steve Kern's FCW classes. And that was in 2009. That was February 2009. Obviously, I'll never forget. I've been wrestling since February 2009. That was when I first started. TJ Perkins was in my class. I saw all the guys in FCW that were there. Drew McIntyre, I believe, was a champ at the time at FCW, and all these other guys who then I obviously went on Impact and actually got to wrestle. But I mean, I'm all over the place here, but wrestling is such a Ferris wheel. I'm sure, you've heard that analogy before. The guys that are going up, it doesn't matter if you're in training. It doesn't matter if you're in the independent circle. It doesn't matter if you're in promotion, whether it be OVW or anywhere else in the country or in the world. There's guys that are already up at the top that are going to see you on the way down. And then how you treat those people, on your way up, they're going to remember, and like, they've obviously made friends in the business. And it's just an ongoing Ferris wheel of passing the same people by. I haven't seen Simbodi in forever. I got to see him, and he's great friends with so many of my other friends. It's just such a small niche. But again, when I first started out, it was because I came off of Big Brother, and that's where I have my Big Brother fame from. And there's a lot of notoriety from that, which obviously I took that and parlayed it, the entertainment aspect as well as my physique, and into a career of professional wrestling because of the passion that I have for it. I'm still a realist at heart. I know that hard work can beat talent, and then once talent starts to work hard, it's over. So that's where I knew I could excel. Miz was one of my biggest icons when it came to what he was able to accomplish at the time when I was starting out. Again, I'm not very vertically inclined as some of the other professional wrestlers in the business, but there's a lot of other breakout superstars that aren't vertically inclined that I was able to get over that, not necessarily a complex, but a hurdle. I seen everybody else break out, whether it be, Daniel Bryan and or there's Austin Aries at the time, all these guys when I came into the business that I saw, I'm like, hey, I appreciate, because like, these are the people that paved the way for everybody else that's, that after them, and Austin Aries is a great person to kind of piggyback off when it comes to his career, but it's a melting pot in OVW to be able to take that talent and find whether it's, professional football players, ex-college football players, baseball players, fitness superstars, anything. The same way you can find any kind of talent. It's not like you can just go on Indeed or ZipRecruiter and try and find the next superstar. You can't. And it's been tried. You're like, oh, your look is awesome. If you can just talk into this microphone for 60 seconds, you're going to become a superstar. You have to have a passion for it. You need to have a drive for it to some degree and not just think like, I can take the work ethic of a collegiate athlete because I'm so good at this one specific thing and now transform it into a career of professional wrestling. And the passion that Al Snow has completely revitalized OVW. I mean, the storylines are phenomenal. The characters there that are phenomenal. And I think that's the biggest thing that separates us from the vast majority of any other. Like, there's definitive characters inside OVW. If you ever, I mean, obviously you're going to be able to take notice of it, and myself included. Like, I'm better than everybody, and that's evident, And I've come from this plethora of knowledge and expertise, and I've been able to funnel it down, and I saw the potential and I saw the raw investment that not only Al's made, but Chad, who's become a great friend. And I wanted to be a part of that. I've had offers from all over the place, but OVW is somewhere that I chose. Like, OVW didn't choose me. I chose OVW as it was almost like the Deion Sanders said when he went to Atlanta, and it's funny because this is primetime Pecs. Like, when I show up to a network, I've routinely moved the needle. Like, there's people that can try and claim that, but there's a reason why I've been on so many networks all the way up until this point in my career. So for me to invest into OVW, there's 100,000% a reason behind it. That's why I'm the champion. I'm going to be able to help take this in a different trajectory that hasn't been before. Again, obviously complimenting not only Al, but Chad Miller themselves because of it. We're working as a cohesive unit, the synergy between us now. That's why I would completely and 100% encourage anybody that's in has any kind of interest in professional wrestling, you need to be able to move and uproot yourself from where you are and the things that you're doing as of right now. If you want to pursue something such as this, life is short. You know, like when it's all over with and you're like, oh man, I thought about professional wrestling, or back in my day, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, I don't want to be that person. You have to pursue wherever those opportunities are. You need to relocate yourself. Say goodbye to your family, friends, and whoever else, whatever ties you have. Bring your dog. I don't care who you bring, but make your way to Louisville, Kentucky, and start a dream that like is feasible. It's attainable, and it's there in Louisville, Kentucky with OVW. And there's other academies across the country, and even, you know, obviously with the relationship that you have overseas too. Al Snow is everywhere. These academies can be popping up everywhere. And that's the beauty of it. Al has a vision of having territories and things of that nature. And I want to be able to go to every territory and see the talent and defeat and compete against these champions in these territories. And that's an opportunity that I'm going to have because of what they've already built. The best way to do something is just do it yourself. And that's what Al Snow has done. And I saw the vision, and it's projected to be great. Like, that's why I'm a part of it. You know, it's not like this is the same OVW that it once was. So super stoked, obviously. I'm loving everything that OVW is doing. And we'll see who thinks that they're going to be able to take my title from me, as far as I'm concerned. There's a reason why I'm the first one. I'm definitely going to be the first one for a long, long time. So.
Yeah, fantastic. Got a chance to speak with Al maybe a month ago, and that's how I started. And I said, you know, we're doing wrestling travel. We're transitioning a little bit to the media side. I want to talk to the best. I want to talk to OVW. I love what he, because it was in the news about him, you know, teaching more than just the craft of professional wrestling for those guys coming in, like accredited trade school type stuff. The specific word escapes me, but yeah, you're right. We're out of the United Kingdom now. I'm going to bounce around here. In your career with Ohio Valley or just wherever you've been, have you gotten a chance to wrestle over in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, I've been overseas. I've been to, obviously, Tokyo, Japan, to Dublin, Manchester, Glasgow. Don't know if I pronounced it right. So I've been to it because we did a couple of UK tours with Impact Wrestling. Yeah. So obviously, Rockstar Spud came from the not Gut Check, obviously, but the
British Boot Camp, wasn't it?
British Boot Camp. Yep, there you go. And again, just a perfect example. You know, somebody that took the opportunity and any and every opportunity that's ever given to him, and takes that thing and runs more than 100 yards with it. You know, like takes chicken shit and makes chicken pie. You know, this is a guy that would literally, you say, hey, guess what? You're getting fired on Tuesday. All right, well, I'm going to set everything up to make everybody feel like this is the biggest firing of all time. Obviously, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So when Tuesday comes around, nobody wants to see me go. Awesome dude. Was able to take that British Boot Camp, turn it into a career with Impact Wrestling, had a great run with EC3 at Impact Wrestling, and then parlayed that into where he's at now, doing a phenomenal job. I was able to wrestle him none other than at OVW, and I beat that fool. I just want to let you know. Just letting you know. Now he might have, I mean, this is the way type of deal, and he's become a super Jedi, but just letting you know, I've got one win over that fella. So if he ever wants a rematch, he knows where to find me.
He wants to come for the champ. You ain't hiding. You're right there. Absolutely.
Yeah. To beat the man, you got to beat the man type of deal.
100%. Now, you're doing Big Brother and stuff, but I want to know, before you get into this crazy business, the best business in the world, who you mentioned The Miz, but did you watch it growing up? Did you have somebody that caught your eye?
Yeah. Both my brother and I, so I have a younger brother that's 3 years younger than me, and we had those Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage play dolls. Well, when we were on our top bunks, we actually threw them on the ground, jumped from our top bunk down there. Well, after I realized that he would get hurt when he did it, I'm just like, well, maybe I should rethink this. So I jumped from just the floor onto mine. But yeah, I mean, between that, the video games, of course, seeing Sting, these guys were larger than life, literally. You know, these are real life cartoon characters that are your heroes. You know, I mean, big, huge, bulging muscles, being able to throw guys, running up and down, doing things that are like just inhuman, if you will, you know, and then they're showcasing it on television every single week. They're just larger than life superstars. Do I have a favorite match, if that's what you're trying to get at? I'm not a super technical wrestler. I'm more with just the characters. These are the guys. I mean, again, Hulk Hogan, seeing their energy, it elicits a true emotion, whether it be out of a kid, out of an individual, out of an adult, out of a female. And that's what I appreciated as a kid, because of the energy that they had. You could just suspend your disbelief. The entertainment value, the being able to get out of wherever you're at in the world and be able to watch something and enjoy it, you know, and actually have storylines like, oh, you know, this guy just beat him up the last time he was out there, but don't worry, he's the good guy. He's going to be able to get him this time. It's just the best. Again, there's nothing like it. Being able to have that elicited emotion when it's just pure, you know, and it's innocent. And that's what I thoroughly enjoyed about it throughout my younger years. Obviously, having all the video games, being able to play them on video games and do all the mocking and taunting and stuff like that and throw them out of the ring. But again, never in a million years did I ever think that I would be able to attain something like that until other things came into my life to set me up and open that door. Because of me being a natural professional bodybuilder, I already had a physique. Because of all the notoriety, because of that physique, I was able to get on television a handful of times through MTV. I was able to parlay that, be represented with a company out in a modeling agency out in California. Because of that modeling agency having my photo on there, CBS and Big Brother actually had me come in and do casting. Because of that casting, I got on one of literally the biggest summer show in history of Big Brother, and I've been on it damn near every single year, to where my status as Mr. Pec-Tacular is a legend in and of itself, just on CBS's Big Brother. Because of that, I was able to parlay that into my wrestling career. And not all wrestling careers are created equal, which I'm sure you know. Different people go and navigate the waters differently. This is just mine in particular. Because of my physique, I went to reality television. Never in a million years did, or in the 19 years of my life before that, did I wake up and I'd be like, oh man, I would, you know, life is great, but I really love to be a reality TV star. Never once did I ever wake up and say that to myself. It happened, but I was able to take that, parlay it, and turn it into something that obviously is my career. Because of what I saw at that time, once I did have all those accolades that I've already accomplished, then again, for some odd reason, I was at Gold's Gym Venice and I saw Ric Flair, of all people, in Gold's Gym. And he himself said, if this is what you want to do, you need to move to Florida. Within 2 weeks, I moved to Florida, because the very next time that there was an opportunity to take a seminar at FCW was in 2 weeks. That was the middle of January. Like, you have to move to where the opportunities are. You know, so that was after the first season of me being on Big Brother. I already moved to Florida. I actually got put onto a second season to be a contestant of Big Brother after I already started my wrestling career, because that's what I wanted to do. That's where I wanted to be. And I presented them with the same package. Like, here's everything that I've done. Like, where do I fit in the grand scheme of your circus? Because professional wrestling is a circus. It's a card. Where do I fit on your card, and what spot? Who can I take off of your card right now? Professional wrestling, and I don't think people understand, this is not easy. This is not easy by any stretch. It's not only physically taxing, and again, a testament to what is going on at OVW. It prepares you for not only professional wrestling, but to run a business. That's why people dress up in suits and conduct themselves as a professional businessman, because it is. You are your own agent. You're your own actor. You're your own stuntman. You're your own social media expert. You're your own HR person. You're your own social, all of these things. You're wearing all of these hats to have a brand yourself, to then contribute to a company that's going to either pay you money or put you on their TV show, which a network obviously has faith in not only themselves to put out a product, but for you to better their ratings. that is what OVW, everything that's going to encompass for you as a professional wrestler in this industry is given to you at those courses with Al Snow and what Chad Miller has already set up. That is what they're training you for. How many independent wrestlers do you know that are phenomenal, don't have one video out of them themselves, don't like have horrible wrestling gear, have literally no talking skills, but can do, you know, a 450, 500 off the top rope into a flight of chairs? Like, for what reason? But then, okay, you did it in front of 20 people and nobody saw it. So how many times can you really kill yourself for whatever the pay rate might be for that day before, you know what, hey, I really don't want to do this anymore, or like you lose that passion? You need to be completely prepared for not only your debut, for your presentation for any company that you try to get in with, but that presentation needs to be ready. You need to have all your ducks in line. When they say, hey, can you turn left? Oh, I can turn left. I already have all my social media taken care of and done with. Look at all these videos that I have set up. Look at my YouTube page that shows, you know, the last 10, 20 of my greatest matches. Oh, this is my highlight reel right here. You're trying to get a job everywhere you're going, anybody you interact with. And again, OVW is doing something that helps not only build your resume, because they literally say, here's how you build a resume. Here's how you put a match together. Here's how you character development. Here's how you talk. Like, they're going to give you that real world experience. I can tell you how to change a tire on a car, but it can turn into a monkey, you know, trying to tackle a football, for the lack of better words, if you don't do it yourself. So that's the beauty of it. When I came into it, again, circling back to your actual original question, who's my favorite? The guys that were the total package, for the lack of better words, not necessarily Lex Luger, but yes, him too. I love the guys that look like the actual action figures that you got. You know, not the ones where you get the action figure and you're just like, Vader doesn't have these muscles. Like, what?
Vader doesn't have abs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? Anyways,
you know, and you
ask me a question, I'll give you a story.
And I love it. And I love it because that's what this is all about. People tune in to hear, you know, I've interviewed too many people that I ask a question and I get a one-word answer. And it's like, man, I can't air this because not only is it not entertaining, but you're going to look a fool if anybody else sees this. I'm not trying. But you seem to be the epitome of the phrase preparation meets opportunity.
Yes.
Being a bodybuilder, you know, doing the big, like you were, and that I think is, if I summed up what you're saying into one sentence, really is, you're always ready. I know plenty of people that have talent that won't travel out of the state. They want to wrestle at the next show, at the next bar. That's how far they see it. And luckily enough, being in the business for how long I've been and working with Wrestling Travel, I'm old, but there's plenty of opportunities out there that I will say, hey, kid or forever, check this out. OVW's having a combine, or so-and-so's looking. And the number of times that I have had people actually answer the call, it baffles me sometimes that you know, guys that, hey, I want to make it to the top, but I'm not going to step foot in the weight room. I'm not going to, I'm okay. I wrestled Saturday. I'll wrestle in 2 weeks. And in between there, hey, I'm just going to, you know, have some chicken wings and watch Raw. That's my preparation. So, Big Brother. Now I'm going to apologize before I even start this. So don't beat me down over this. I recently purchased CBS, their streaming platform. And I was watching. Oh, you got to be kidding me! It says we're running out of time because we had you on there twice, so we'll hurry up. Anyway, talk to me about the Big Brother. You still get a lot. Do you get more notoriety from Big Brother or pro wrestling? Does it equal out, or does it just depend on the situation?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If I go to, like I say, an airport or a theme park, I would say the vast majority is Middle America, and they know me from Big Brother, just due to the fact that it's middle America. That's where we're at. It depends definitely where you're at. Obviously, there's other places where, I mean, I could be at the grocery store and a little kid come up and they knew that I was Jesse from the Bromans too, Mr. Pec-Tacular from the Bromans. So it really, it is a mixed bag though. It's definitely a mixed bag, and you never know, because you could be out at a nightclub and there could be some, you know, some very spicy, hot female individual, and she'd be like, I know who you are. And then just be like, I love what you do. And I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden you find out that she's a huge fan of professional wrestling, and you're just like, got it. So okay, you like seeing me beat up guys. You got it. You know, that's just their deal. You know, they just like it. Again, that's the appeal with UFC fighting. You can tell how good the business is going when you find out who's in the front row. So whoever's in the front row, if it's hot chicks, your boys are a draw. Think of it that way.
Fantastic. I'm going to ask you a huge favor, Mr. Pec-Tacular, because Zoom is going to kick us out in just a few minutes. Can we end this and call this part one?
You got it.
I'll call you back. I won't keep you on here for a day and a half.
No, fine.
All right. So that ends part one with Mr. Pec-Tacular. I'm sure Danny is going to stop it right here, and we're going to go, hey, stay tuned tomorrow for part two with Mr. Pec-Tacular.